Welcome to Tungal online classes. So now we'll discuss the grand test paper of physics. Let me continue. First question: the length of a simple pendulum is about 100 centimeters. To know the accuracy of 1 its period of oscillation is 2 seconds. Determined by measuring the time for 100 oscillations using the clock of 0.1 resolution. What is the accuracy in the determination of G value? So what is the formula for time period of simple pendulum? T is equal to 2 pi into root over L divided by G. From this, T square is equal to 4 pi square into L divided by G. So from this, G value is equal to 4 pi square into L divided by T square. If I want to calculate the accuracy in G, that is delta G by G. So I am writing the formula delta G by G value is equal to 2 into delta T by T plus delta L by L. Error approximation method formula. Then 2 into. So what is delta T with delta T? So divided by T value will be equal to. So what I given accuracy in the time resolution value, that is 0.1. 0.1 divided by what is the total time taken for all oscillations? 100 oscillations. Each time period value, so 2 seconds. Total value given by 200 plus delta L value. So what is the simple pendulum length value given L 100 centimeters? Accuracy is 1 mm. So delta L value 1 mm. 1 mm means so here can I write it as 0.1 centimeter divided by L value 100 centimeters. Okay. So which is equal to here so 2 to cancel 0.1 divided by 100 plus 0.1 divided by 100. So what I get the answer is 0.2 divided by 100. If they ask me to calculate percentage value, percentage of delta G divided by G, so will be equal to 0.2 by 100 into 100. Then what I will get the answer is 0.2%. Okay, this is first question. Next one. So next one is directly theory question. What is the SI unit of magnetic flux? Magnetic flux SI unit is what? Weber. Flux is the dot product of magnetic field induction and so area vector whose SI unit is given by Weber. Third question. A stone is thrown upwards with a speed u from the top of the tower, reaches the ground with a velocity 3. So what is the height of the tower? Projection from the top of the tower. Let me call the tower of height value h. Stone is thrown vertically upwards with a velocity u. So it is reaching the ground with a velocity given it as, so v value is equal to 3. What is the formula for final velocity of stone which is projected vertically upwards? So v value is equal to formula or v square is equal to u square plus 2 into g into h. Though here body projected vertically upwards, so we will get net displacement value. Net displacement value how much? S is equal to minus h. Substituting s is equal to minus h, a is equal to minus e. In which formula? So in the formula v square minus u square is equal to 2 es. Then what I will get? 2 into g into h is equal to v square minus u square. So v square value 3u whole square. So minus u square. So what I will get the answer? 9u square minus u square will be equal to 2 into g into h. So h value is equal to 8 into u square divided by so 2 into g. Then what I will get the final answer for h? H value is equal to so 4 into u square divided by g. Understood now? So which option? Second option. That is question number 3rd. Next one. Question number 4th one. So question which is based on relative velocity. So rain and man in a rain problem. So in this they given that rain is falling vertically downwards with a velocity. So that is given it as VR value how much? That is of 4 kilometers per hour. Okay. Then girl is moving on a straight road with a velocity. So velocity of girl here it is of vg1. Velocity of girl given as 3 kilometers per hour. Asking us to calculate apparent velocity of rain with respect to girl. So what is vrg1? Vrg1 is given by vr bar minus vg1. So what is the magnitude of vrg given by root over vr square plus vg square? Why it is? These both are perpendicular. Then we will get it root over. So that is VR value is equal to 4 square square plus Vg value is 3 square. So 16 plus 9, 25. So answer is 5 kilometers per hour. Which option? The third option. Next one is fifth one. What is this question is? So average speed of a object may be equal to arithmetic mean of individual speed. When average speed is equal to arithmetic mean of individual speed, whenever body covers so equal distances, equal time is divided into equal intervals. So that time the average speed formula V average is equal to so V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus so and so Vn divided by n. When we need to write the formula, when the total distance, so total time divided into n equal parts. First t by nth part, then t by nth part, then t by nth part. So here it is of V1, V2, V3 so on. That time average speed. So statement correct only. Average speed is equal to total distance traveled by total time taken. What is average speed formula? So average speed is equal to total distance traveled by total time taken. Then which is the correct one? This is also correct one. Both statement 1 and statement 2 are the true, and statement true is the correct explanation for statement 1. Correct or no? How we will get this formula? We will get this formula by using average speed is equal to total distance traveled by total time taken. By using this only, we will get that above arithmetic mean value, total distance traveled by total time taken. Understood now? So both statement 1 is correct, statement 2 also correct. Statement 2 is the correct explanation for statement 1. So this is question number 15. Next one. Question number 6. Important question here. But you might have observed here one small modification, a small mistake is there in the question here. What is the question is? So calculate the volume of a balloon filled with hydrogen gas, which will be sufficient to lift a load of 25 kg. Actually, so it should be of 25 grams because balloon could not lift to 25 kg. So that is 25 grams in air. So given the density of the air and hydrogens are given 12.9 into 10 to the power minus 4, 9 into 10 to the power minus 4. Here where was the balloon was there? So balloon was immersed in air. Understood? So on this balloon any force acting because of the air force is acting. So how much load is suspended? A load is suspended to this balloon also. So that will be of 25 grams. The balloon has to lift along with this load. So what is the upthrust acting on the balloon will be given by upthrust should be balanced by weight of the balloon. Weight of the balloon plus load. Okay? Weight of the balloon plus load. So upthrust is because of the buoyant force of which one? Buoyant force of air. So upthrust formula will be given by that is nothing but buoyant force. So V into density of air into G. And what is the volume of the balloon and volume of the so air which is displaced because of the balloon both are same. So V into this value rho H into G plus load value can I call mg. So G term is cancelled all. Then what I will get they asking us to calculate what is V. So V value is equal to m divided by rho A minus rho H. M value you take it as 25 grams by rho A value 12.9 into 10 to the power of minus 4. Rho H value 9 into 10 to the power of minus 5. Can I get it as 0.9 into 10 to the power of minus 4? Then what will get that is 25 divided by, so this value will be of 12.9 or 0.9, that is 12. 12 into 10 to the power of minus 4, correct? Which is equal to 25 divided by 12, which is so 2.083. 2.083 into 10 to the power of plus 4. So answer is in centimeter cube, actually it is. Because we consider the densities values, everything is in gram by centimeter cube. So that is how centimeter cube. If I want to convert this answer in meters, what should I write? M value. So 2.083 into 10 to the power of 4 into so centimeter cube. 1 centimeter 10 to the power of minus 2 meter. That is 10 to the power of minus 6. So I will get the answer is M value is equal to how much? So M is equal to 0.2083. Correct? 0.10 to the power of minus 2 will be there. No? 0.208. That is of meter. So if you have any means as As per this given data, the option should be of none of the above. But in key answer, they may have mentioned this one. To get this answer, this is the answer. Okay? You can modify the key answer. That is question number 4th option. This is 6th question. Understood now? So next one. 7th question. And this question also. So this 6th one or 7th one, better. So better complicated. All out of 60 questions, 60 may not be very much easy. So direct, somewhat small questions. What is this 7th question is? Two blocks A and B of masses 10 kg and 12 kg respectively are kept on a rough beds. Inclination value given as 30 degrees and 60 degrees. The coefficient of friction between the block A and wedge is 0.6, while between B and the wedge is 0.3. The blocks are connected by a light inextensible thread. The wedge is fixed with respect to ground. So what is the force of friction acting on the block A? So they given one wedge. Here they have given one wedge. For this wedge, this angle given as 30 degrees and this angle given as 60 degrees. So two blocks are given. Here one block is there, here one block is there. So this block is A and this block is B. Both the blocks are connected by one string. So block A, can I call the mass is M1? Block B, can I call the mass is M2? What are the forces acting on block A? Its weight. So weight is given by, because of the, so this is inclined plane. Its weight are resolved into components. That is M1 into G into which one? So sin 30 degrees. Correct? So, and what about this block? Its weight that is given by M2 into G into sin 30 degrees. Okay? Now, so whenever this block, actually this weight is more, M2 greater than M1. So this block will move. When it is moving up, what is the direction of friction of this block? Can I call this friction is F1? Now this block is moving down. So what about this friction is given by F2? F1 is the force of friction acting on A. F2 is the force of friction acting on this one B. Now they are asking us to calculate what is F1. So can I write in order to move this block? So what is the condition here is M1 into G into sin 30 degrees plus F1 is equal to M2 into G into sin 30 degrees minus, why minus? Here M2G sin 30 and F2 both are in opposite direction. Y here plus M1G sin 30 and F1 both are in the same direction. So into plus is one F2. Can I write? So from this F1 value is equal to, this is M2 into G into sin 30 degrees minus F2 can be written as, so mu2 into M, the coefficient of friction into M. So what is N value? Can I write directly here? So normal reaction, when I resolve the weight of two components. So another component is given by M2 into G into cos 30 degrees. This is 60 degrees. And this is of cos 60 degrees. Correct? So here is of 60 degrees. Normal reaction value is equal to how much? M2 into G into cos 60 degrees. M2 into G into cos 60 degrees minus M1 into G into how much of setting this term sin 30 degrees. Then I can take the common of M2 into G common. So what is left? Sin 30 degrees. Sin 30 degrees value will be given by, so here sin 60 degrees, sorry, sin 60 degrees. So that is given by root 3 by 2 minus mu2. Mu2 is the coefficient of friction between the block and B and or that inclined plane. So that answer given it as, that value is 0.3. So 0.3 into cos 60 value will be given by 1 by minus, so M1 value of 10 into G value 10, G value given into sin 30 value 1 by, so 2 1s are to 5. Here what I will get, M2 value 12 into G value 10. So what about this answer will be, so 2 is common, LCM, what can I write? 1.732 minus 0.3 divided by 2 minus this value how much of 50. So whatever its answer is, this is 1.432 into 120 by 2, 60 into 1.432. So that value will be given by 85.92. 85.92 minus 50. So what is the answer is? So that is of 35.9. So which option? First option. Okay. So this is for a resolution of vectors concept. Question number 7. Next one. Question number 8. So what is this question is? A block of mass 2 kg pulled upon by a smooth inclined angle of 30 degrees with the horizontal. If the block moves with an acceleration of 1 meter per second, what is the average power delivered during 4 seconds after the motion started? One inclined plane given. On this is smooth inclined plane. So a block is pulled up. In order to pull up, what we need to apply force. So what is the weight of the block which is acting downwards? Here angle of inclination given it as 30 degrees. If I consider the mass of block is m, so weight acting downwards, so that is m into g into, so this value of sin 30 degrees. Correct? Here friction order. In order to move the block upwards, so what we need to apply? Force is needed to apply. Two forces are acting on this block. So what is the net force formula? F net is equal to F minus mg into sin 30 degrees. Y minus sin 30 downwards, F will be upwards. And block is moving in vertically upward direction with an acceleration. So what is F all given by? F net value formula me minus mg into sin 30 degrees. This is our plus. M value given it as mass of 2 into A value 1 plus, so 2 into 10 into sin 30 1 by 2. Then what will get the answer? F value is equal to 2 plus 10, that is of 12 newtons. How much force is applied on the block? 12 newtons. Now what we want to calculate? Power. Power after 4 seconds, average power delivered. To calculate the power, so we needed velocity. What is the velocity after 4 seconds? V is equal to u plus at. V is equal to 0 plus a value given 1. What is the time? 4. So v value is equal to 4 meters per second. When I know, so velocity, what is the power? Power is the dot product of force and velocity. In what direction the body moving? So same direction. Force applied to velocity, both are in the same direction. So that's why what I will get? F into 12 into 4. How much answer is of 48 newton? Important question. So which option it is of? This is 48 watts. Power no? 48 watts. This is the question number 8. Okay. Next one. Question number 9. A stick of length 1 meter and mass value 1 kg is resting vertically. If it fall down such that the lower point must be does not move, then what is the work done by the friction? What they are asking me, stick was there initially vertical with having one point of contact with the ground. Now what happened? So stick it falls down such that lower point is not seen, so it is falling down. Lower point, fixed point is constant when it is falling down. So actually when it is falling down, that is work done by the gravity. The gravitation force is a conservative force. Work done will be recovered. Due to that reason, here what happened to the work done by the friction? Total work which is done, that will be converted into energy. The work done value will be in the form of energy. So that's why what is the work done value by the friction? That is of 0. Friction will not do so any work because the force is here conservative force. Okay na? So that is question number 9. Next question. Question number 10. So a shell is moving in a parabolic path exploded in mid-air. The center of mass of the fragments will follow the same parabolic path. So okay, actually what we are doing is, let us consider one shell. That shell was exploded in a air into number of pieces. It was divided. So all pieces will be thrown in different directions, but except the center of mass of the shell. So that will follow which path? Parabolic path. Because so what is the reason for this is, so explosion of the shell is because of the internal forces. Internal forces will not change the center of mass. So due to that reason, so center of mass motion will be remain unchanged. That is a parabolic path. So what is the explosion is due to internal forces which cannot be altered the state of motion of a body. So what does it mean now? both statement A and assertion and reason both are correct. And also assertion is the true explanation for which one? For the reason is the correct explanation for assertion. Are you getting up? Explosion only because of the internal forces. Internal forces will not change any. So path of the center of mass. So center of mass of this shell will follow parabolic path. So third option is correct. Question number 10. Question number 11. So this is a question based on center of mass. Center of mass questions you have to go through concept clearly. So center of mass from a uniform square sheet as a side length value given it as so 2r. One square sheet is there. That is square sheet is side length given it as 2r. Okay. A circular sheet of maximum possible area is removed from one of the quarter of the square sheet. Now if I divide into 4 quarters, so a circular disc is removed. From here it is removed. Maximum area. How much maximum area? Almost it is covering this complete block. So this is the center of this circular. So what they have removed is circular sheet. They have removed. And this is the center of the original sheet. Can I call this is C1 and this value of C2. Removed from the quadrant of the square sheet. The center of mass of the remaining portion from the center of original sheet is at a distance of. So they ask us to calculate. So after removing what will be there? So one part is removed. Only 3 parts will be there. So only 3 parts will be there. Here one part, and this is of one part. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So this part is removed. Remaining sheet center of mass. And what is the distance between which one we want to calculate? The center of mass of the remaining portion from the center of the original sheet. So okay, whenever mass is removed, what happened to the center of mass? Center of mass will be shifted. Initially this is a plate raft. For this plate if it is uniform, center of mass will coincide with the geometric center. Let me call it as O. After removing the part, so one part is removed, center of mass will be shifted. Here somewhere on, it will shift. Where does it will shift? It will shift away from the space where you have removed the part. Then, so this is a 4 dash. This is a 4. So this distance is asking. There is a formula is there for shift of the center of mass. So shift given by the formula delta x is equal to a minus a into d divided by so capital A minus small a. So what is small a is the area. Here minus sign is indicating moving away. So I want only magnitude. A is the area of the circular disc which is removed. Capital A is the area of the original given total plane that square sheet. And what about the D? D is the distance between the centers of which one? Centers of the original disc, so original plane, and the circular disc. C1, C2, 1. Are you getting up? So small a is the area of the circular disc which is removed. Capital A is the area of the total sheet, square sheet, what we consider that uniform square sheet. And D is the distance between the centers of the actual total sheet and the centers of which one of the removed circular disc. So what is A value? Circular disc area formula. Total what they given? Total length value 2r. So what is the diameter of the circular disc? Diameter of the circular disc value will be equal to r. Correct? Then what about the radius value? R by 2. Circular disc area formula pi r square. So pi into r by 2 whole square. By what is the area of the given square plate? Square plate area total side 2r whole square minus pi into so r by 2 whole square. Can I write? Are you getting up? This formula you will get in concepts. Into so how can I calculate the d value? For calculating d value, once you check the what we need to calculate. This is the center of the removed circular disc, and this is the center of the original plane sheet. Then this distance I want to calculate. So when I want to calculate this distance, we know. So this value equal to r, this value equal to r. Then what happened to this value? Root 2r. But I want to calculate this value. So what is d is equal to? D is equal to root 2 into r divided by 2. So you simplify this. Finally the shift will get the answer is pi into r divided by so root 2 into 16 minus pi. Question you have to go through clearly, and this is the formula for shift, or this is the formula for distance between the remained plane and the center of the that remote part. Okay na? Question number 11. Next, remaining all are simple questions, except these 2 to 3 questions are there. What are 60 questions? Maximum to maximum on 5 questions will be bit complicated, and remaining all directly easily you can go through. So okay, the period of a moon rotation around the earth nearly 29 days. The moon mass is worth twofold its present value. So other things are remaining unchanged. What is the time period of rotation? What is the formula for time period? So T is equal to 4 pi square, or otherwise T square is equal to 4 pi square into G into capital M divided by R. Okay, or otherwise I will write it as small r. Small r is equal to R plus S. This is the formula for time period of a satellite which is revolving around the planet. So where capital M is the mass of the planet. So this time period value does not depend upon mass of the satellite. Means because of the changing the mass of the moon, so time period value not changes. The time period value will remain same. So before and after, time period will be same as that of how much of 29 days. Are they getting up? The time period depends only on mass of the which one planet. That is 12th question. So next one, question number 33. So time period of a satellite Earth is 5 hours. The separation between the Earth and the satellite increases by 4 times. So what they are supposed to calculate? U times. According to Kepler laws we know. So what is the formula? T square proportional to R2. So T proportional to R power 3 by 2. Then what is T2 by T1? T2 by T1 value is equal to R2 by R1 whole power 3 by 2. They given that R2 value 4 times. So 4 times the R1, 4 into R by R whole power 3 by 2. Then R value cancel. So 4 whole power 3 by 2, 4 can be written as 2 square whole power 3 by 2. So 2 cancel. Then what I will get? That is of 8. T2 by T1 value is equal to 8. Then what I will get? T2 is equal to 8 into T1. What is T1 initially? 5 hours. So 8 into 5. Then how much I will get? 40 hours. So which option? That is the option of third one, 40 hours. Okay na? So this is question number 30. Next one. Question number 14. Steel wire is stretched by 1 kg weight. If the radius of the wire is double, and what happened to the Young's modulus value? So Young's modulus is the depends only on the nature of the metal. So steel or whatever the diameter you take, so Young's modulus value is same. Young's modulus formula longitudinal stress divided by longitudinal strain. So F by A divided by delta L by A. Are you getting up? So Young's modulus value remains unchanged because of the changing the radius of the wire. Okay na? So it remains unchanged. Which option? 14 is the first option. Next. Question number 15. In a refrigerator, heat flow from. So you know that the refrigerator. So refrigerator heat will flow from in a direction opposite to which one? So in a so what is the direction of heat flow? From the hot body to cold body, or in its natural direction, or in a direction opposite to natural direction. So generally heat will flow from which body to which body? Hot body to cold body. Correct? But in refrigerator, that is reversible heat. So heat will flow from cold body to hot body. In a direction opposite to which one? Natural direction. Okay? That is, so which option? Third. Next one. 16th question. A metal ball is suspended from the hook. So by a spin balance is immersed in a liquid. So other than water. On increasing the temperature of the liquid. So one spring balance is there. The metal block is there. The metal block is immersed in a container. This container is filled with some liquid. So then what is the reading we'll get is, that is apparent weight. So what is the relation apparent weight? Apparent weight, WA, can I call them? Apparent weight is equal to true weight. Apparent weight is equal to true weight minus which one? Buoyant force. Yeah. How much whenever a body partially or completely immersed in a liquid, so weight of the body appears to be decreased. So that is 28 minus 30, which can be written as Wt. So Fb value according to Archimedes principle. So V into rho L into G, where V is the volume of the body, rho L is the density of the liquid in which body moves. Now what is the condition that telling is when temperature increase. When temperature increase, if I consider the volume of the block is constant, but what happened to the volume of the liquid? So volume will be increased. What happened to density? Density will be decreased. When density decreases, what happens? Negative term is decreasing. Then what happened to the apparent weight value? Apparent weight value will be increases. Understood? With increasing the temperature, so what is the reading of the spring balance? Will increase. First step. That is 16. Next one. Question number 17. So copper ball is heated. What is the largest percentage change in its occur? Copper ball, if I consider as spherical. So what is the area formula? E is equal to pi r square. So what I will get delta A by A. Delta A by A value is equal to 2 into pi into, here otherwise A value directly proportional to r square. Then what I will get 2 into delta r by r. But what is the volume formula? Pi r. Volume directly proportional to r. What is delta V by V? Delta V by V is equal to 3 into, so this is the value of r square, delta r by r. So 3 into which one now? 3 into r square into delta r by r. Which value will be increases by more? Volume will be increases more. Compare with which one now? Area and diameter. Okay? That is question number 17. Next one. Question number 18. Oxygen boils at what temperature? At a temperature of 183. So what is the temperature approximately? Conversion from, so Kelvin centigrade scale to Fahrenheit scale. What is the relation? F minus 32 divided by 180 will be equal to C divided by 100. Or otherwise directly I will get as F is equal to, so this is 0 0 cancel, 2 9s are 2 5s are, which is of 9 divided by 5 into C plus 30. Substitute the values, we will get F value will be, so that is how much they given? 183. So 183 into, that is 9 by 5 into temperature in Celsius scale is 183 plus 30. Calculate, we will get the answer of 215 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, next one. Question number 19. In the coefficient of apparent expansion of a liquid in a vessel A, so is 18 into 10 to the power of minus 4 and B is 21 into 10 to the power of minus 4. The difference in the coefficient of linear expansion. So there are two vessels are there. There are two vessels are there. One vessel let me call A, other vessel let me call B. Same liquid is taken in both the vessels. What is the liquid you have taken? That vessel will be taken in the same both. So what is the formula actually? Can I call the apparent expansion here value gamma A? For in vessel A, the apparent expansion of liquid is, so real expansion plus glass expansion, correct? So what is gamma R value is equal to, gamma R is equal to gamma A minus gamma G, which can be written as gamma A, gamma G can be written as 3 into alpha. Relation between, so alpha and gamma G glass expansion 3 into alpha G, that is linear expansion. So that is the value of gamma. Similarly, what is the gamma R for liquid when it is there in vessel B? That is gamma B minus 3 into, this one can I call Ga and this one can I call Gb. Why gamma? Actually, gamma real expansion value not depends upon vessel. So real expansion value C. Gamma R here also gamma. Then what I will get? Gamma A minus 3 into alpha G is equal to how much? So gamma B minus 3 into alpha G. Now what they ask us to calculate? What is the difference in the linear expansions of A and B? So what I will get? Can I send so that term to this side? So what I will get? 3 into alpha G, sending this side. 3 into alpha G minus 3 into alpha G will be equal to, so sending this term this side. Gamma A minus gamma B. Now what is alpha Ga minus alpha Gb value? minus alpha GB will be equal to how much? So will be equal to gamma A minus gamma B divided by 3. Okay, what is gamma A? Apparent expansion value will be given by, so this is actually gamma B minus gamma A. Gamma B value greater na, so gamma B minus gamma A. So 21 minus 18 into 10 to the power of minus 4 divided by 2. So what will get the answer is, so 1 into 10 to the power of minus 4. Okay, minus not a matter here. What are the units? Per degree centigrade or centigrade units. Okay na? So that is the one relation between gamma and apparent expansion and real expansion. This is for vessel A and this is for vessel. Understood na? Question number 19. Next one. Question number 20. So question based on the beat concept. A tuning fork AX, so a frequency 258 gives 8 beats with a tuning fork Y. So there are two tuning forks are there. One is X, one is Y. So let me call number of beats here. That is Fx minus Fy will be equal to 8. Or otherwise, so Fy minus Fx will be equal to 8. But there is a given condition. What is the condition they given is, the prongs are filled. Which prongs are? The prongs of Y are filled. When prongs of Y is filled with the filter and again sounded, the number of beats are here seen. When prongs of Y filled with the filter means its frequency will increase. So though frequency increase, the number of beats are seen. So for this condition, we have discussed it on tabular column. It is possible before loading, after loading, if the frequency value of Y will be seen, means Y will be increased, only possible when Fx minus Fy is equal to 8. Whenever in a condition, the unknown frequency tuning fork is filled, before and after filling, the number of beats are seen, only the first condition is possible. Fx minus Fy is equal to 8. Then what I will get? Fy is equal to, so Fx minus 8. Fx minus 8. Then Fx value 258 minus 8. So answer is 250. Go through the concept at this point. Okay. So when it is cases will be there. Loading and filling will be there. Whenever loading is there means frequency decreases. Because of the filling, frequency will be increased. So this is question number 20. Next one. Question number 21. Any common emitter amplifier. So beta value given it as 5. That is current gain. RL given, load resistance, output. RL given, input resistance. What is the power gain? Power gain value they ask me to calculate. P is equal to V into I, which can be written as P is equal to, so I square into R. So P can be written as power gain is equal to current gain into resistance gain. That is given by RL by R. So what is beta value? 50 whole square into RL value 4 kilo ohms, 4000 by RI value 500. So 0 zeros cancel. Here what will get? 5 ones are 5 ones. Then this is equal to, this is 2500. Correct? Into 8. That is of 2000. That is of 20,000. So what I will get the answer? That will be equal to 2 into 10 to the power of 4. Okay na? Power gain, resistance, voltage gain, current gain. Relation. Question number 21. This is. Next one. Question number 22. What is this question is? Closed organ pipe 70 centimeters long, sounded. Velocity of sound given 331. What is the fundamental frequency of vibration? A. Closed organ pipe given. Fundamental frequency, one node, one antennode. So length value is equal to lambda by 4. L is equal to lambda by 4. What happened to lambda? Lambda is equal to 4L. So what is the formula for frequency? So F is equal to V divided by lambda. V by lambda, so which is given by V by 4L. Directly also we can write fundamental frequency formula. V value given it as 331 by, so what about the 4 into L value given it as 4 into L is 70 centimeters. That is 7 into 10 to the power of minus. Then so F value will be equal to, this is 331 divided by so 2.8. Then what we get the answer is given by so 331 divided by 2.8 value. So that will be of approximately 3 times. So 3 times means we get 118.2 H. Okay na? That is question number 20. Next, question number 23. Question based on the Doppler. So waves are very important. Okay. Source of sound frequency 90 Hz is moving towards the observer with the velocity so 1 by 10 of the velocity of sound. The frequency heard by the observer will be equal to how much? So in this question number 23rd, what they are telling is the source of sound is moving. So this is the source, here observer. Source of sound is moving towards the observer. With the velocity Vs is given as V by 10, where V is the velocity of sound. What is the apparent frequency when source moving down? So V divided by V minus Vs into F. Frequency will be increases now, which is equal to V divided by V minus V by 10 into F given. What is the frequency sound? That is of 90 given. Then what will get? So this is of V divided by what will get? LCM is 10. 10 minus V, that is 9V. So numerator will go 10 by 9 into 9. Then which is equal to 9 ones are 9 tens are. So that is of 100 Hz. Correct? Frequency is increasing or decreasing? Increasing. Question number 23. Next one. Question number 24. Doing a midterm, because the time is also very important. When you already simple concepts only, so easily you can go through. Question number 24. The action of dielectric to increase the capacitance is due. You know that. So because of introducing a dielectric slab between the plates of a parallel plate capacitor, what happened to the capacitance value? Does it increase or decrease? Increase. Why it will increase? Means because of the dielectric polarization. Dielectric polarization will occur. So here what happened? So all negative charges will come and deposited here. Positive charges will come and deposited here. So if I apply the electric field is E, then induced electric field is EI in a direction opposite. Then what happened to the net field? So net field value given by so E minus E. Correct? What is the reason is because of the dielectric polarization. Question number 24 is. Question number 25. Two spherical conductors of radius 5 centimeters and 6 centimeters are charged with the same potential. Two spherical conductors are there. Here one conductor is there, here one conductor is there. So this rate is what let me call R1, this rate is what let me call R1. R1 given 5, R2 given 6. So surface charge densities are given. This is sigma 1, this is sigma 1. Condition given that their potentials are same. V1 is equal to V2. What is potential formula? K into Q1 by R1, where there is potential on the surface is equal to K into Q2 by R. K value cancel. How can I write Q1? Q1 is equal to so charge per unit area. Na? What is surface charge density? Charge by area. So what happened to sigma or Q is equal to so sigma into A, which is A value pi r square. Sigma into pi area value now. So that is 4 pi r square. What the given spherical conductor? 4 pi into r square. If I substitute this here, so what I get? So sigma 1 into 4 pi into r1 square by r1 is equal to sigma 2 into 4 pi r2 square into which one? r. So 1 r1 cancel, r2 cancel, 4 pi cancel. They are asking what is the ratio of sigma 1 by sigma 2. So sigma 1 by sigma 2 value is equal to how much it is? R2 divided by R. So that is 6 divided by 5. How much ratio? 6 is to 5. So this is question number 20. Okay? So next question. Question number 26. What is the question given is fuse wires are given with the same material and having identical cross section, but their length value given it as 1 cm and 2 cm. So if they grow up, so current value I1 and I2. So what is I1 into I2 ratio? So this is the question based on the principle of the fuse wire. So current passing through fuse wire value does not depends upon its length. It is independent of length value. It depends only on its thickness. So due to that reason, what will get so I1 is to I2 will remain same. 1 is to 1. So principle of use by. Okay. So this is question number 26. Next question. Question number 27. So in the circuit given, battery will taken having a negligible internal resistance. What is the power supplied by the battery? So if they ask to calculate the power supply, power is equal to P is equal to V into I. So here current are not given. Can I write I is equal to V by R, which is V square by R. R means I should take it as R effective. So what will get the power value? V square value given 3 square by what is R effective in this? So 2 and 2 both are in parallel. So this answer will be how much? 2 and 2 parallel value. So that is answer is 1. That 1 is in series with which one? 3. Can I write directly? So that is how. So how much I will get? 3 plus 1. That is 9 divided by 4. These two are in parallel. The resultant is in series with 3 ohms. That is question number 27. Next one. Question number 28. So magnetism and matter chapter 28. In this, what they given is angle of dip. So angle of dip means you know that now angle made by earth total magnetic field. For example, if the earth total magnetic field is given by B, so what is the angle made with the horizontal? That is given by delta. So delta value given it as 60 degrees. And they given horizontal component value. How much it is? 0.26 Gauss. Then what they are asking us to calculate? What is B value? What is the formula for BH? BH is equal to B into cos delta. Correct? So what is B is equal to BH divided by cos delta. BH by cos delta. So BH value that is of 0.26 by cos delta value. So cos 60 degrees. Cos 60 value 1 by 2. So 2 will come to numerator. So answer will get 0.52 Gauss. Understood now? So this is question number 28. Next one. Question number 29. So what is this is? Two diametrically opposite points on a circular coil connected by a battery. The current through each pointer is I ampere. So if the radius of the coil is R, so what is the field at the center? So magnetic effect of electric current. One circular coil is given. Two diametrically opposite points are given. Now they connected a battery across these two. So current across, total current value is I. Current will be divided into equal. So this value I by 2, this value I by 2. So what is the magnetic field value? What they are asking us to calculate magnetic field at the center of the coil. Because of the resultant of these two parts. This above part and below part, current is flowing in opposite direction. You can calculate magnetic field at the center formula B is equal to mu naught into I divided by 4 pi r into theta. What is theta? R. Whether it is semicircular, complete circular, that formula. But direction is also important now. Since current is flowing in opposite direction. Magnetic field due to first part is can I call B1. Magnetic field due to this part can I call B2. Both are in opposite direction. So what happened to VR bar? Both are equal and opposite. So that is given by BR bar is the sum of so B1 plus B2. B1 minus B2. Since B1 is equal to B2, answer is 0. Understood? So this is question number 29. Next, question number 30. So what is the question? In a series resonant circuit, voltage across the resistor, inductor and capacitor given. Question number 30. So what is voltage across the inductor? That is a first which one resistor given. VR value given as 5 volt. Voltage across the inductor given as 20 volt. And voltage across the capacitor given as 20 volt. They are asking us to calculate what is the resultant voltage. What is the resultant voltage formula? Which is equal to VR square plus VL minus VC whole square. You know that na? VL minus VC whole square. Then what will get? VL is equal to VC. Then circuit will be in resonance. Voltage across the inductor, voltage across the capacitor, both will cancel out. Then what will get? So in a resonance, so that is a VR whole square plus 0. So V is equal to VR value how much? 5 square. 5 square means what will get the answer is 5. Understood now? This is for LCR series. Question number 30. Okay now? So all questions are maximum. So 80 to 90% questions are based on simple concept. Easily you can do it. Okay? Maximum number of questions attempting also very important. Okay? So next question.